Hello and welcome back to another special episode of Submissive. Today we're going to talk about 50 Shades of Grey.
What is 50 Shades of Grey? It's a film about Christian Grey, a rich, successful businessman, a dominant, who meets the young, beautiful university student by the name of Anastasia Steele, who is very insecure, the submissive. And Mr. Grey says to himself, I will have this woman. She will be mine. There was so much hype for this movie. The books were very successful and women were blazing about this movie. They were expecting it to be a blast, a sexual cinematic fantasy. Even when I went to go get my ticket at the counter, the person there told me that I was the first man there to buy his ticket for this film, and there were only 6 dudes in the audience. So I walked in there expecting it to be a moving movie, a good movie, and it wasn't. There were so many problems with this flick, it's not even funny. We receive a too fast introduction of these characters, and the connection between them is developed by far too quickly. It feels so desperate, but almost in a weird way. After the rapid introduction to these characters, everything just repeats itself. Sex, tension, dating. And sex, tension, dating. And even more! Sex, tension, and dating. This film drags and drags on, and nothing real is happening. You don't really care, you don't really invest yourself in these characters. And what does this movie give you? Anastasia Steele, a very smart woman, but who is very insecure, meets a rich man who has issues. He is, in a manner of speaking, a sex freak, a person who just wants to have sex with you, dominate you, and turn you into his little plaything. And that's all. Anastasia is more of the romantic type, who just wants more out of their relationship. This will create a problem between these two people. Wow, what a coincidence. I didn't see that one coming. I mean, come on. This film is so predictable from start to finish. They try to add a bit of humor in 50 Shades of Grey, which was fairly amusing, but besides that, nothing really captivates you besides the sex. But if I wanted to see that, I would just watch a porno. 50 Shades of Grey is supposed to demonstrate the fantasy level of people who are afraid to try out these sexual activities, these forms of punishment. But you don't feel that while watching this movie, it doesn't really captivate you, bring you into the story, and invite you to take part in these acts of punishment. Not once did I ever say to myself,
come on, Anastasia, you're a naughty girl. Now you can punish me.
Now I will punish you.
What the?
You felt that the production value for this flick was fairly high, but what a waste. This movie ended terribly as well, and in the final 20 minutes of this flick, it could have ended at any time if that's how they were going to end it. There was no actual climax. I know that there will be another 2 50 Shades of Grey films, but this one did not inspire me to want to go and see the next 2. And what a bad start to a trilogy. But I shouldn't be surprised in the end, because how can you adapt a book where 80% of it is sex, 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 and only 20% of it is story? And this film gives you the opposite of that. This flick reminded me of Twilight. More or less the same story, and for me, they are both at the same level. So in the end, I can only say that 50 Shades of Grey, the movie, bored me to death.
For your convenience, there's a restroom located in the rear of the coach.
So listeners, did you like this flick? Yes, no, and why? If you read and liked the book, how did you feel about it after watching this movie? And did it live up to the hype? So listeners, thank you for listening. So until next time, keep it nosensical.